Okay, is the sound working better now? Looks like I need a new headset, doesn't it? So thanks a lot, Logitech. Okay, so yes, so we're in the Edgeley Optica, and we are taking a look at the New World Update in Flight Simulator 2024. This is World Update 22, which covers most of the national parks in the US. I'm guessing they've timed it to correspond with the holiday weekend. So, this is the airplane we'll be flying. I've deliberately chosen it because the visibility is very, very good. And we're going to be flying around and having a look at the national parks. So let's just have a quick look before we get going, show you the route. We're going to go and look at Zion National Park, so we're just taking off just south of it. And then we're going to go over to Bryce Canyon National Park, and then Capitol Reef National Park, then Canyonlands, and then over to Arches National Park. So depending on how we go for time, we could carry on and look at some of these others. So if we go and zoom in, look, you can see the Black Canyons of Gunnison National Park, and there's another one down here, the Mesa Verde. That would be a good one to visit, wouldn't it? So maybe we'll see how we get on, because then obviously if you come down you get more of these canyons. There's a Petrified Forest National Park as well, but Mesa Verde would be really cool, wouldn't it? Because I know it looks spectacular. And then you've got the Great Sand Dunes National Park over there. So we'll see how we get on for time. I am online. I've got multiplayer on, so if we go and press Ctrl-Alt-N just to confirm that, can I see any aeroplanes? I'm amazed I can't see any. Oh, there's at least one aeroplane out there. Let me just check which server I'm on. I thought I put myself on the US servers. So online, East USA. Save and back and resume. Oh, I wonder if it's the... Oh, I wonder if it's flight conditions. Let's go back out. So main menu. I've seen this before. So free flight, flight conditions. Yeah, it's gone to group only. If you ever turn multiplayer off, this is a bug. I meant to tell Sebastian about this. It's a real pain in the backside. And we're wanting to go to KAZC. So we'll put ourselves in exactly the same parking spot that we were in previously. Wait for the simulator to load the world back up. And I'll be back in a moment. Okay, is the sound now fixed? And just to make my life even more difficult, YouTube has put ads all over the screen. And now I can't see the live stream comments. It's like every single thing that could go wrong so far is happening. Okay. So hopefully you can see we've got the edge of the Optica. We're on the edge of one of the national parks here. We've got rid of the chocks again, so I'm going to shortcut this and press Control E. Of course, we've now lost the flight plan, so we'll go into... We'll also have lost the fuel we had. Load aircraft, load immediately, go to flight plan, open it up, wait for the tooltip to vanish so we can actually do anything. Load from the web. Load the flight plan, send it to the avionics only. We don't want air traffic services. Okay, you don't need the autopilot yet. So nav lights on, taxi lights on, pitot heat can go on, we'll be taking off in a moment. Oh, it's so frustrating with the sound because I can't hear it doing it. There's obviously a hardware issue with the headset. I'll be on the market for a new headset by the sounds of it, because I just cannot trust this Logitech one anymore. And it was one of their expensive ones as well. It has lasted a couple of years, I can't really complain. And it does get used a lot. Just waiting for the GPS to come up. And then we get on our way and go and see how spectacular this new scenery looks. Oh my word, is that the door again? If I put the headset down, it'll probably break it again. I'm going to have my phone in front of me the entire flight. It's my daughter pulling something around the house and setting off all the motion cameras. Anyway. Right, let's get on our way, shall we? So what are we expecting to see on this tour of the national parks? We're going to see an awful lot of very, very high resolution meshes and very, very high resolution mapped scenery. So we need to find out which way the wind is before we can take off. Wind, oh, it's 2 knots. We really don't need to worry about the wind then. I'll just check we have got live weather. Because I know I was playing, no we haven't. That's absolutely typical, isn't it? So everything that can go wrong has gone wrong so far. And that's still showing like 2 knots. Let me just check that. Live. There isn't a breath of wind. Do we believe that? Well, if that is the case, then we turn right and we take off on that runway. Okay, calibrate the altimeter, get a feel for the nose wheel, turn off the aeroplane labels, so it just goes to show it's not just everybody else that has issues with the simulator. Whoa! I think the wind has just kicked in. We've just been pushed off the taxiway. suddenly it's 14 knots. The live weather just loaded in, and we are going the right way to take off into the wind, which is good. Yeah, I'd always rather have live weather than turning the weather off. So we're not running say intentions today because we're going to be looking around and probably breaking all sorts of aviation laws along the way, so I don't really want to have to suffer the wrath of controllers. Okay, let's bring this round to arc mode. So we're looking to do a right turn. So we got about a 20-mile run into the high resolution scenery of the national parks. You can already see it, to be honest, along the ridge line up there. Okay, let's see how we go. So we may fly along the cliffs on purpose because we're expecting much higher resolution than we've seen previously. It's going to be to the same level as the Grand Canyon, basically. If you've seen the eastern end of the Grand Canyon in 2024 on a fiber internet connection, you're going to see pretty much the same thing today of these national parks. And this is why I chose this aeroplane, because we've got very good visibility all around. This is mad, isn't it? That's just next level stupid, I'm afraid. I'm super impressed. It's interesting though, look, now we're over the top, it's not so impressive up here, look. So 15 miles until we're not really in the heart of the national park yet, we're just on the fringes of it. This is going to be fun, isn't it? Oh my word. Yeah, it's not always perfect though, look. This is a bit low resolution here. I mean, I'm really picking at tiny details, aren't I? When you consider the scale of what they've done. You can see the cutoff though, where they haven't got the real high resolution data, but where they have got it, it's stunning. We could get Say Intentions running in the background, I guess. Let's go and run it. So at the moment we are flying in towards the middle of Zion National Park. So we can ask Sarah, can't we? Hi Sarah, what can you tell us about Zion National Park? Or Zion even.
Zion National Park is famous for its dramatic red cliffs and was established in 1919 as Utah's first national park. The park's name comes from a Hebrew word meaning refuge or sanctuary, and early Mormon settlers were so impressed by its beauty, they gave it a biblical name. Hikers and climbers from all over the world come here to tackle trails like Angel's Landing and the Narrows, with the Virgin River carving out the deep canyons below.
I do need to be careful with the wind. It's because it is quite gusty. It's playing havoc with us.
Southwest 001, descend and maintain flight level 200.
What I'm going to do to quieten sound tensions down a bit is turn the traffic level down. Bear with me while it loads. Traffic injection. We're going to turn this right down, turn this down, turn this down, and it will quieten things up.
Leaving flight level 240 for 17,000, JetBlue 001.
This is madness, isn't it? Should we set ourselves up slightly in the cockpit? How are we doing on the route? Well, we're going completely the wrong direction. We should be going across into the chalk side over here. Are there any settlers out here? I have no idea. We could ask the tour guide, couldn't we?
Alaska 716, flight level 370.
Hi Sarah, could you tell us about the Native American settlers in this area?
Absolutely. The area around Zion was home to Native American groups like the ancestral Puebloans and later the Southern Paiute, who lived here for thousands of years, farming, hunting, and leaving behind fascinating rock art and artifacts.
How far back does the traces of their civilization go in this area?
Los Angeles Center, American 1592 with you.
Archaeological evidence shows that people have lived in this area for at least 8,000 years, with the earliest traces belonging to hunter-gatherer cultures long before the ancestral Puebloans and Southern Paiute arrived.
American 1592. Mind if we go off for a company call? Be right back. American 1592, frequency change approved, report back on. Los Angeles Center, 679, checking in.
That wind is playing havoc with me. I am going to turn it off. There's no cloud anyway.
Roger, good afternoon, sir. Los Angeles Center, Allegiant 48, checking in. Flight level 280, descending flight level 250. 48, roger, good afternoon. Delta 795, flight level 340. 795, good afternoon, sir. 795, my flight level 360. 795.
Should we cut across the ridge? Because we're turning right in a moment anyway.
Los Angeles Center, Southwest 4020, checking in at flight level 370. 4020, good afternoon. Flight level 220.
So the dark streaks, that's just the sedimentary rock, isn't it? I would imagine. Hi Sarah, are the streaks in the rock the line of the sedimentary rock from where this was originally underwater?
Yes, those streaks cliffs are actually layers of sedimentary rock that formed when this area was covered by ancient seas millions of years ago. The different colors come from minerals like iron and manganese that were deposited over time.
The orange is iron. The only reason I know all of this is our family business was a quarry many years ago, so I do know a little bit about rock. Oh my word, this is going to be a trip and a half, isn't it?
American 1592, contact Denver Center on 118.225, so long.
Over to Denver Center on 118.225, American 1592.
Wow.
Alaska 6 with you, flight level 350, climbing flight level 360. Alaska 6, roger, good afternoon, sir. Alaska 6, when able, proceed.
So I think it's fair to say that Flight Simulator just turned everything up to 11.
Flight level 400.
Climbing to flight level 400, 945.
Southwest 2449 with you, flight level 270, climbing flight level 280. Southwest 2449, Los Angeles Center, roger.
American 32, flight level 310, climbing flight level 320.
American 32, Los Angeles Center, good afternoon.
If the sea was still here, well, you can see the line. This would have been out of the water, and this would have been, that would have been the, you know, the shoreline. It's fairly clear in the rocks when you look around. There's the shoreline, look up there, and this would all have been shallow. Obviously it's been weathered over the years, but you can see where the line is. There it is, look, there's the shoreline. It's pretty clear.
Southwest 4020, contact Denver Center on 118.225, good afternoon.
But then you get layers and layers of it, so there's another load up there, look. So different oceans, different levels, over different epochs of history.
Los Angeles Center, Delta 1194 with you.
And of course you get the reason you get mountains obviously is pressure in the rocks pushing some of it up in places. Obviously a lot of this is where it's been worn away and the softer rock has been washed away. But even so, you will get movement of the ground over time, where it will, you know, it will tuck under and fold. That's obviously how mountain ranges and things happen. Which is why you get to see the stripes at funny angles, and Wales is a very good place to see it on the coast of Wales in the UK. You can see the strata sticking out in various places around the coastline at funny angles.
Southwest 358 with you at flight level 370.
It's so good though, isn't it, being able to see this in such detail.
Los Angeles Center, American 324, at flight level 340.
American 324, good afternoon, sir.
If you know what to look for, if you get closer to some of the bigger cliffs, you might be able to see the KT boundary,
Level 370 for flight level 330, Delta 795.
which is the asteroid that knocked out the dinosaurs. There's a stripe,
United 2492, continue climb flight level 280.
but you have to know exactly what you're looking for to see it, and I don't, so there's not a lot of point in me looking for it.
8 miles, crossing left to right to CRJ, flight level 290.
Should we descend down and have a look? We've got loads of time to climb back up. I'm interested to go right down into one of these dry riverbeds and see what they look like at low level.
Salt Lake City Center, 120.275. Good afternoon, American 324.
Yeah, this doesn't have any air. It doesn't have any air brakes.
Out of flight level 340 for flight level 360, Southwest 2586.
Los Angeles Center, Southwest 2728, checking in 16,000 for flight level 200.
Southwest 2728, roger. Good afternoon, sir. Southwest 8655, contact Denver Center on 118.225. Over to Denver Center on 118.225, Southwest 8655.
I'm just wondering how careful they've been. Yeah, I don't think they've been that careful, look, with seeding the ground with detailed rocks. They are sprinkled around, but not as carefully as you might have imagined. Obviously, as you get close, it starts rendering grass in.
Flight level 320. Good afternoon.
Los Angeles Center, Delta 2121, checking in, flight level 350.
So we've got 30 miles until the next national park, which will be, if we have a look,
WestJet 2280, flight level
just over this way. So we're looking for Bryce Canyon next.
Los Angeles Center, Southwest 1195 at flight level 340. Southwest 1195, good afternoon. Los Angeles Center, Delta 1857, checking in at flight level 330. Southwest 358, traffic 11 o'clock, 10 miles, traffic crossing right to left at flight level 360. Los Angeles Center, Southwest 1625 with you, flight level 340. 25, roger, good afternoon, sir. Southwest 2728, continue climb, flight level 240.
Climbing to flight level 240, Southwest 2728.
Los Angeles Center, Delta 802, flight level 330 for flight level 360. Southwest 1510 with you at flight level 370.
Yeah, it doesn't always work perfectly, does it? You can see they've used the same tree model too many times. It's got a stripe in it, which is showing up.
Los Angeles Center 508 at flight level 350. Los Angeles Center, Delta 802, radio check, how do you read?
Okay, so we need to clear these hills in front of us.
Up to flight level 360, WestJet 2280.
Should we get the autopilot working?
American 32, contact Albuquerque Center on 128.125, so long. Over to Albuquerque Center on 128.125, American 32.
Los Angeles Center, Southwest 2977 at flight level 360.
American 1443, 16,000, climbing flight level 200. 1443, good afternoon, sir. Southwest 358, contact Denver Center on 118.225, so long.
That's interesting. You can't set the vertical speed.
118.225, Southwest 358.
Oh, we're already at 8,500, that's why.
Southwest 3731 with you
There
out
we
of
go.
16,000 for flight level 200.
Southwest 3731, roger. Good afternoon, sir.
Now I don't have to fly and
When able, proceed direct climb.
look. I can just help us look around.
Thank you, Southwest 1510.
Southwest 2586, continue climb flight level 400. Southwest 2728, climb and maintain flight level 280.
Out of flight level 240 for flight level 280, Southwest 2728.
So, if we have a look on the map, we're just heading across
Los Angeles Center, United
to Bryce Canyon.
1731, checking in, climbing 16,000 for flight level 200.
Shouldn't take too long.
31 Los Angeles Center, roger.
When we cross the route,
United 2492,
I'll
climb and
switch on
maintain
nav mode
flight
on the
level
autopilot,
320.
which will take us straight there.
Climbing to flight level 320, United 2492.
Continue descent flight level 250.
Flight level 250, 526.
That's as high as we need to be
Alaska
for the moment.
716, climb and maintain flight level 400.
Out of flight level 370 for flight level 400, Alaska 716.
Okay, we've got a couple of minutes. 26 miles to run. We could speed things up.
Albuquerque Center on 135.32.
135.32, good afternoon, Alaska 716.
679, contact Salt Lake City Center on 127.9025. Good afternoon.
127.9025, 679.
Southwest 2586, descend flight level 350 at your discretion.
Descending to flight level 350, Southwest 2586.
Southwest 2728, climb and maintain flight level 320. Report level.
Climbing to flight level 320, Southwest 2728.
This aeroplane suffers from the same problem as lots of the others. If you stream the aeroplane, it throws away the graphics if you're not looking at them.
31, continue climb flight level 240.
And there you go, if you look long enough, they appear.
Climbing to flight level 240, Southwest.
If you install the aeroplanes, that doesn't happen. It just loads it straight in.
Climb flight level 240.
Climbing to flight level 240.
Okay, so we've got a change in scenery again.
Southwest 2449, request to leave your frequency briefly for a company call.
1, 2, 3. So I've just sped the simulator up
2449, go ahead, report back.
until we get closer to Bryce Canyon.
Southwest 2449, climb and maintain flight level 360.
Actually, if I speed up in between the national parks, that will mean we get to see more national parks.
240, report level.
I do need to keep an eye on fuel though.
United 1731.
I think we'll be fine.
Los
Famous
Angeles
last
Center,
words.
243 with you. Flight level 190 for flight level 200.
Right. Let's go and get this climbing to altitude again, shall we? So we're at 9.5. We want at least another 1,000 feet.
Alaska 6, contact Denver Center on 118.225. Good afternoon. Delta 1857, contact Denver Center on 118.225.
Okay, speeding things up again.
118.225, Delta 1857. Los Angeles Center 240, flight level 330.
Yeah, so where we sped things up, obviously we've got ahead of the simulator. There's areas of scenery. You can see it loading them in. And it's probably pulling things in at a frightening rate. If we go and open Task Manager and look in here,
Climbing flight level 360,
watch
240.
the Wi-Fi. Here he goes, look, 5400 megabits per second at times. It's hovering around 50 meg.
American 1443, continue climb, flight level 280.
Climb flight level 280, American 1443.
Yeah, look at that.
American 1443, when ready, descend and maintain flight level 240.
And that's going to be the simulator trying to load this in into the distance.
Flight level 280 for flight level 240.
We haven't helped it by speeding along. Normally it would have got ahead of itself. I mean, look at these rock structures are incredible, aren't they?
Switching to 120.275, Air Canada 786.
If we just let it tootle along for a while, it will load it in on demand.
American 1443, climb and maintain flight level 320.
Leaving flight level 280 for flight level 320.
You can even see the water runs through the mud. There's a lot of iron in the rock, isn't there?
1.76, Big Stripe 661. Big Stripe 661, climb and maintain flight level 240, report level.
So why is it not loading directly in front of us?
United 1731, continue.
We're 10 miles out from the middle of the national park.
Climbing to flight level 240, United 1731.
But most of it's actually
Southwest 3731,
directly
climb
here.
and maintain flight level
Oh, here we go.
320.
It's just started loading it, look. So this is the crazy photogrammetry coming in. So we'll circle around here and have a look once it fully loads.
Polaris 1743.
Yeah, this was my fault for speeding us up. This wouldn't have happened. Because the simulator's obviously trying to figure out when it needs to load in based on your speed and direction. And I didn't help it. So there's this Buck Knoll
Flight level 240, report level.
and these various overlooks.
Climbing to flight level 240, 243.
United 1731, traffic 12 o'clock and 8 miles, crossing right to
I'm
left.
guessing this is Buck Knoll.
Looking for the traffic, United 1731.
Or is this it?
Southwest 2728, climb flight level 360.
Southwest 2728.
American 1443, continue.
So let's come off the autopilot
Leaving flight level 290 for flight level 250.
and circle for a bit here and have a look around. Now it's loaded it in. Yeah, it's still loading, look.
2280, contact
Putting layers and layers of more detail in.
Good afternoon.
Switching to 135.32, WestJet 2280.
Putting millions and millions of trees on the ground.
134, contact Salt Lake City Center on 127.9025, so long.
Switching to 127.9025, 134.
Big Stripe 661, climb and maintain flight level 280, report level.
So, moral of the story, don't speed the sim up when you're over heavy photogrammetry areas, because it won't keep up at the moment. Not with thousands and thousands of people all over the world having a look around this scenery.
American 1443, contact Albuquerque Center on 134.325, good afternoon.
Switching to 134.325, American 1443. Los Angeles Center, Southwest 3731, how do you read us?
Southwest 3731, loud and clear.
So what I'm going to do,
Contact Albuquerque Center on 135.32, so long. Over to Albuquerque Center on 135.32, 508.
I'll leave us on autopilot, altitude hold.
With you at flight level 350. 03 Los Angeles Center, roger.
I'll turn the head tracking off so me waggling my head around doesn't hurt it. And we'll just move the view around as we go slowly. So, just so you get an idea of where we're going.
Good afternoon.
We're going to be crossing a lot of these ridges where the hills are. So that's up around here. That might be a good opportunity actually to depart the flight plan and do some circling, have a look at the rocks.
Climbing to flight level 280, United 1731. Maintaining Mach 0.78703.
Big Stripe 661, climb and maintain flight level 320.
Yeah, you can see it coming, can't you? So,
Flight level 320, Big Stripe 661.
let me move myself forwards in the cockpit.
Southwest 3731, climb and maintain flight level 360, report level.
And we'll descend down for a
Flight
bit.
level 340 for flight level 360, Southwest 3731. Southwest 1510, contact Denver Center on 118.225, so long.
So this is down into the heart of Bryce Canyon National Park now.
118.225, Southwest 1510.
North 1743, climb flight level 240. Up to flight level 240.
Because we've got live time of day going on, we could play with that and have the golden hour, couldn't we?
31, climb flight level 320.
Wonder what about the morning?
Leaving flight level 310 for flight level 320, United 1731.
We'll go for the evening.
Los Angeles Center, Frontier Flight 001, checking in at flight level 290. Frontier Flight 001, Los Angeles Center, good evening.
That's mad, isn't it? That looks like a photograph. Hi Sarah, what can you tell us about these rock formations?
These rock formations are mostly made of sedimentary rock, shaped over millions of years by wind, water, and ice, creating the dramatic cliffs, arches, and bridges you see today.
So what else can you tell us about Bryce Canyon National Park?
Bryce Canyon National Park is famous for its unique hoodoos, those tall, thin rock spires, which were formed by frost wedging and erosion over millions of years. And the park is also home to some of the darkest night skies in the United States, making it a stargazer's paradise.
What can you tell us about the area we're over right now?
Right now, we're flying over the Bryce Canyon area, known for its stunning red rock formations and those
It's the
famous
same.
hoodoos that look like nature's idea of a rock garden gone wild.
They are mad, aren't they? So they call them hoodoos. It's interesting.
Los Angeles Center, WestJet 1741 with you, flight level 380.
Hi Sarah, what causes the really dark reds in the rock? It's probably clay, but I'm not sure.
The really dark reds in the rock are caused by iron oxide, basically rust, which has built up over millions of years and gives the rock its deep,
Out of flight
rich
level
color.
380 for flight level 400, WestJet 1741. Los Angeles Center, Allegiant 59 checking in, climbing flight level 350 for flight level 360.
How are we doing for the route? We're still on track. 60 miles out across here.
Los Angeles Center, 650, flight level 360. 650, roger, good evening, sir.
Okay, so that was Bryce Canyon. We're now wiggling our way. We could stay on the rock line, couldn't we, and go further up this way and then cut back just to keep it interesting. So we'll follow the ridgeline so you get to see more of it.
Los Angeles Center, 244, flight level 350. 244, Los Angeles Center, good evening.
So if I bring the heading bug round,
normal speed, Allegiant 59. Los Angeles Center, Delta 1451, flight level 370. Southwest 2572 with you, flight level 320.
it is mad, isn't it?
Legion 59, contact Salt Lake City Center on 127.9 or 25, good evening. Over to Salt Lake City Center on 127.9 or 25, Allegiant 59. Southwest 2572, climb and maintain flight level 360, report level. Climb flight level 360, Southwest 2572.
Los Angeles Center, 672 with you at flight level 210. Climbing to flight level 240, 672.
Southwest 3177 out of flight level 310 for flight level 320. Southwest 3177, roger, good evening, sir. American 2864, climb and maintain flight level 360. Out of flight level 350 for flight level 360, American 2864. Los Angeles Center, Frontier Flight 4632 with you at flight level 300. Frontier Flight 4632, roger, good evening.
Flowing to Mach point 80672.
Southwest 4095 at flight level 390. Southwest 4095, good evening, sir.
Approaching runway 3.
American
Caution,
2864,
caution.
descend and maintain flight level 310. Descending flight level 310, American 2864.
Yeah, when you get really close look, you can see the mesh.
Los Angeles Center, 263 with you out of flight level 200 for 16,000.
Okay, let's turn out towards... I guess we go towards these bluffs. They might look quite spectacular. There's steps everywhere, isn't there, though? It's interesting.
traffic. Contact Salt Lake City Center on 127.925, so long.
Switching to 127.925 traffic.
So we dropped to 8,700 feet. Guess we could do with climbing, couldn't we? So we'll take it back up to 10.5. There's no hurry to do it though. And while that's happening,
Discretion flight level 310.
we'll leave it on the outside view so we can enjoy the scenery.
Southwest 2572, descendant pilot's discretion, maintain flight level 320.
Flight level 320, Southwest 2572.
Just putting this up out of the way so you can see where we are.
United 682 with you, flight level 350.
Los Angeles Center, Southwest 2572, requesting a quick frequency change for company dispatch.
Southwest 2572 approved. Let us know when you're back. 263, descend and maintain 11000. Expect lower shortly.
11000, 263.
Southwest 3177, climb flight level 360.
Climbing to flight level 360, Southwest 3177.
118, flight level 320. Delta 1451, when ready, descend and maintain flight level 330. Flight level 330, Delta 1451.
Excuse me. So it's coming up to 10,000 feet. We're not going to quite get high enough to clear that, are we? Unless we go around it, I guess. We can go around the headland over here. Or the bluff.
Frontier flight 4632, descend and maintain flight level 270. Out of flight level 310 for flight level 270, Frontier flight 4632. 244, contact Albuquerque Center on 135.32.
Albuquerque Center, 135.32. Good evening, 244.
I'm guessing this is all chalk around here.
Los Angeles Center, Air Canada 792, checking in at flight level 350.
That looks spectacular, doesn't it? It's very clever.
Los Angeles Center, United 1700, checking in, flight level 350.
It's almost like we're going through completely different biomes, isn't it?
Crossing right to left. An Airbus 320.
Well, I guess that happens in the US. So we're leaving
Canada 792.
all of that sedimentary rock behind, and it's completely different. This is almost like granite, isn't it? And chalk.
Southwest 4095, contact Denver Center on 118.225.
Or maybe just this is the desert that formed on top of the sedimentary rock, and it just looks that, yeah, it's that softer edges where it's settled.
American 2864, continue descent, flight level 310. Down to flight level 310, American 2864. American 2864, continue climb, flight level 360. American 2864.
Well, we're going to get a grandstand view of some of these rock formations in a moment.
Los Angeles Center 006 checking in, flight level 340. Center, roger.
That's incredible, isn't it?
2864, descend and maintain flight level 310. Down to flight level 310, American 2864.
Los Angeles Center, Southwest 146, flight level 340.
Southwest 146, roger. WestJet 1741, contact Salt Lake City Center on 127.9 or 25.
127.9 or 25, WestJet 1741.
American 2864, contact Albuquerque Center on 128.125, so long.
So we just rounded the Powell Point trailhead.
Good evening, American 2864.
Now, is that the Powell as in the same guy that found Lake Powell?
Flight level 320.
650.
That's much further south though, isn't it? Oh, it's only 40 miles, 50 miles south though. Interesting.
United 1700, traffic 1 o'clock, 20 miles, same direction, and Airbus 320 and flight level 360.
We have the traffic, United 1700.
We ought to have a look at fuel.
Flight level 390.
We've got about 60%. That's fine.
650, descend and maintain flight level 320, expect lower shortly.
Am I on VATSIM? No, I'm not.
Leaving flight level
I could be running
360
transmitter
for
though,
flight level
if anybody
320,
wants that.
650.
So, disconnect that. We'll go and put ourselves in as Optica. Oh, sorry, I just put my name in.
1700, contact Salt Lake
John
127.9 or
Beckett.
25.
So anybody can find me if they're looking for me on... Oh, I just thought
7.9 or 25, United 1700.
this should be... It's East USA, isn't it, these days?
Southwest 1474 at flight level 360.
Southwest 1474, Los Angeles Center, good evening. Alaska 1423, flight level 340. Alaska 1423, Los Angeles Center, roger. Southwest 2572, contact Denver Center on 118.225, so long.
Over to Denver Center on 118.225, Southwest.
Okay, so we've got a bit of a track to follow.
1741, flight
Can have a
level
look.
380.
About 60 miles. This scenery is going to be fairly similar until we get over to, is it Capitol Reef National Park? That's going to be the next one on our list.
Southwest 146, descend and maintain flight level 300.
So I'm going to leave this trundling along for a while. I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm just going to go and stretch my legs and make a coffee. Okay, see you in a moment.
WestJet 1741, contact Salt Lake City Center on 127.9 or 25, so long.
Over to Salt Lake City Center on 127.9 or 25, WestJet 1741.
Southwest 3177, climb and maintain flight level 400. Climbing to flight level 400, Southwest 3177. Southwest 3177, traffic 1 o'clock and 20 miles, crossing right to left. Negative contact, Southwest 3177.
United 535, flight level 340.
Contact Salt Lake City Center on 127.9 or 25. Good evening.
7.9 or 25672.
Southwest 146, descend and maintain flight level 270.
Flight level 270, Southwest 146.
Southwest 1474, climb and maintain flight level 400, report level.
Up to flight level 400, Southwest 1474.
Southwest 3177, contact Albuquerque Center on 128.125.
Over to Albuquerque Center on 128.125, Southwest 3177.
Los Angeles Center, Southwest 001 with you, flight level 380. Center, roger. Flight level 370. Roger.
Los Angeles Center, United 535, request frequency change, company operations.
United 535, frequency change approved.
Los Angeles Center 766 with you, flight level 380.
Los Angeles Center, Southwest 2953, checking in, climbing flight level 240 for flight level 280.
Southwest 2953, Los Angeles Center, good evening.
Los Angeles Center, Delta 1252 at flight level 360.
Descend flight level 250.
Leaving for flight level 250, Southwest 146.
Emirates 216, with you out of flight level 310 for flight level 320. Good evening. Emirates 216, we picked up some light chop about 20 miles back. Roger that, my reps are appreciated.
Air Portugal 248, flight level 350.
Air Portugal 248, roger.
KLM 604 with you, flight level 330.
Okay, I'm back. So can please somebody confirm if they can hear me correctly? Because this is the fun we've been having with it, isn't it? That I'm never quite sure if my voice is coming through okay. So let's go and have a little look. Head tracking back on. I think it's worth having a little detour here, isn't it, along this ridgeline. So many places to go and explore now. I can see the group flights queuing themselves up to go and fly in some of these areas. Looks so good.
Flight level 400.
Out of flight level 380 for flight level 400, 766.
is very, very cool.
United 1573 with you at flight level 330.
73, good evening.
Los Angeles Center, United 1573, radio check.
United 1573, reading you clearly.
Out of flight level 380 for flight level 400766.
This is mad.
2953, climb flight level 320.
It's so good.
Descend and maintain flight level 340, expect lower shortly.
Leaving flight level 380 for flight level 340, 766. Speedbird 264, flight level 310, climbing flight level 320.
Roger. KLM 604, contact Salt Lake City Center on 127.925, so long.
Over to Salt Lake City Center on 127.9.
Oh my word.
604.
They're getting better and better at this, aren't they?
Flight level 390. Good evening, sir.
X-ray at 16,000.
Air Portugal 248, traffic 12 o'clock, 8 miles, crossing left to right, traffic at flight level 330.
The shame of it is, when you suddenly get an area that isn't quite so detailed, it really shows up.
Air Canada 792, contact Salt Lake City Center on 120.275.
120.275. Good evening, Air Canada 792. Los Angeles Center, Southwest 2867 with you, flight level 370.
Southwest 2867, Los Angeles Center, roger.
Okay, 20 miles until the middle of... now, which national park was it next? Let's go and have a look.
United 1573,
Capital
contact Salt Lake
Reef
City Center
National
on
Park.
127.925, so long.
127.925.
So I'm wondering, looking at the line of this, if
Los
we
Angeles
should
Center, Southwest 2867.
divert
Can we go on
and
frequency
fly
briefly?
in
Company
along.
needs us.
We'll see.
Southwest 2867, approved, report backup. 118, contact Salt Lake City Center on 127.925, so long.
Switching to 127.925, 118.
It's very impressive,
Southwest
isn't it?
2953, climb and maintain flight level 360. Southwest 2953. 766, descend and maintain flight level 310, expect lower shortly.
Leaving for flight level 310, 766.
Flight level 320.
The problem we have in this airplane is there's no COM2 radio that we can tune. I wonder if we can switch it off on the Saint Intentions side.
Los
Los Angeles Center, Diamond 14 Golf with you, 18,000. Los Angeles Center, roger.
I'm going to turn the ATC off for the moment.
Southwest 3776 with you at flight level 370.
I think it just took a few seconds for it to turn off. Just had to remove somebody from the channel permanently for being an idiot. It's very rare that I have to do that, I have to say. Pylons. I think we're going to have to add some altitude somehow. We're at about 8.5. So just going 500 feet a minute. Give it a bit more power. I'm guessing this is all chalk. Yeah, just reading the live stream comments, the pipistrel would have been very, very good for this. Didn't even occur to me. I thought, oh, I haven't been in the Optica for a very long time. Let's go and grab the Optica. Unfortunately, this isn't the payware version that you used to have in 2020 that had a dog and various other bits and pieces that you could put in the cockpit with you. So, climbing back up. Oh, we're going quite slowly. Let's go and give it more power. See a line look in the landscape. I wonder what that's all about. So we're heading in towards the next national park. You can see the detail is coming in the distance. It's preloading it. We'll be there fairly soon, and you can see there's a huge step in the landscape that goes on for miles and miles. Wondering where that is here. There must be, just trying to make sense of it. It's this, isn't it? It's the edge of the creek. Can't quite see it in enough detail on a map to know what's actually going on with that. Or, oh, actually, no, it isn't. It's difficult to say. This. No, what we're seeing is that ridge. course, we've also, I keep forgetting this, we've also got this, haven't we? So we can zoom in and look on the satellite map in here as well. Doesn't really help with picking out features like that though. That's that ridge. Okay, so it's off our nose to... It doesn't show up on this map. Not very clearly. Unless it's that's much further away. If we change this to satellite, it'll probably become obvious. Yeah, there it is, look. I think it's time to descend, isn't it, into the canyons. Just side slipping to let us descend a little bit more quickly. Opposing the direction we're going. Keeping an eye on the indicated airspeed while doing so. It's interesting, isn't it? When it fails to load, it really stands out, because when it does load, it looks spectacular. can see it's struggling to keep up. To be fair, everybody's jumping on it this evening, so it's going to be the servers are going to be under incredible load. It does, yeah, it's so obvious. Look, there's the full texture, and there's not, it hasn't got it in time look. It's interesting how marked a difference it is. Is this Bryce Canyon? That's a good question. I can't remember. No. This is Capitol Reef National Park. Bryce Canyon was the last one. So I think Bryce Canyon was the one with all of the towers of red rock. This one's more sandstone and limestone cliff faces. It's mad, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. So good. So presumably we have to go, okay, we go down the side of that mountain. It doesn't look like we're going that way at the moment, we're going straight for it. There's Table Mountain, which is going to be that one. Then we got oh, it's because we're not exactly on the route. So if we go nav, it should start turning left towards Table Mountain over there. So maybe we skim in between Mount Ellen Peak, or even Dry Lakes Peak and Table Mountain, on our way to Canyonlands. So, which is the best way to come into Canyonlands? Should we actually come in from over here? I think we should, you know. I think following, coming past the mountain, if we did something like go cross country, we could even, yeah, because we get to see a lot of these dry riverbeds that way, and then follow that into Canyonlands. It's probably a bit better idea, isn't it? Unless we cut over there. Cut between the two mountains. Do that. That might be better. Then we still see the mountains. So we want to turn to 100 degrees basically. So heading mode. We're still climbing. By the time we get over there, we'll be plenty high enough, I would have thought. Just going to turn head tracking off and turn my microphone off for a few moments so I can drink my coffee. Okay, I'm back again. It is mad, isn't it? So I think we can hold altitude now. 10,000 feet. So looking on the map, the peak to the left of us is, or so I should say, to the left of us will be Ragged Mountain. To the right is the Horn, and then Mount Pennell. So that's the Horn, that's Mount Pennell, and that's Ragged Mountain. And over further to the left is the south summit ridge of Mount Ellen, I guess, which is over there. Let's turn ourselves a few degrees to the left to miss the Horn. It does look incredible, doesn't it? So what I did earlier, you'll see I've got orange dots all over my map in Little Nav Map. I went to Copilot, I told it to go and look at the press release for Flight Simulator World Update 22, and then I told it to make me a KRML file. So if you look in the file menu of Little Nav Map, you can load, oh sorry, KML, sorry, not KRML, make a KML file. So a KML file is basically polygons and labels for a map. So then you can load them in. I should have told it to make the shapes the same shape as the national park. It didn't, it just made circles. You can see if you get close enough, they are polygon circles. But these are each of the national parks that have been part of World Update 22. So this is why I've gone and picked out these yellow dots that you can see to go visit today. So I'll probably make that KML file available in Discord when I share this flight. There's obviously nothing to stop you making your own flight plan to go and visit these various places, and obviously I think half the fun is looking up the places on a map, because you learn so much about geography along the way, about where the national parks are, for example. It's very cool though, isn't it? So what are some of the other ones? Should we go and have a look? So right up against the Canadian border, we've got the North Cascades National Park, and then we've got, now this one doesn't have a name on the map. It may not always be, because I'm not sure how it's come up with the name for the national park, or the location, sorry. Oh, it's Olympic National Park, there we go. Just have to have the right zoom level. So then we've got Mount Hood, obviously. And further down, Crater Lake National Park. And then, are we going to get conservation area, Redding Rock? I wonder, oh, Redwood National Park, I guess. The Lassen National Forest, Lassen Volcanic National Park, I bet that's good to go visit, especially if they've done it in detail now. To go all around here, around the trails. Maybe take a helicopter out there. Down in California, we've got Pinnacles National Park, and then Kings Canyon National Park, Sequoia National Park, Death Valley National Park. I didn't know it had a national park in Death Valley. There you go. It's cool though, isn't it? And that was just me spending a couple of minutes. Notice all of these national parks are on the west side of the US. There's nothing on the east. You'd think sort of top of New York State you might find some What's this one down here? Big Bend National Park. I've heard of that one. Guadalupe Mountains. Carlsbad Caverns. There you go. So yeah, as I said, I'll share the KML file on my Discord server. So if you can find, I think, the link to Discord in the notes of the video. So if you go and look in the more notes section, I think, yeah, I've put my Discord server link in the notes of the video. So you just need to scroll down through the notes. But later on this evening, when I get around to cataloguing that I did this flight, I'll share the KML file and the flight plan. That might be something I start doing actually now I've got the Discord server, is after a flight plan uploading the PLN file, if it makes sense to. Maybe a few screenshots. I'll have to remember to take screenshots then, though, won't I? Okay, how are we doing? We don't need to be this altitude anymore, do we? If we go and open the window layout to default in little nav map, we can pop open the altitude chart, so we can drop to about 7,000 feet. How far have we got to go? 40 miles to run until we get to the next, or the centre of the next national park. So you can see that line that we're heading towards, which is exactly what we're looking for. Look, there it is. And then we'll follow it. So I did a little bit of work while we're flying along on autopilot. Have I got a couple of? Yeah, I've got a couple of minutes. If I go and open a web browser and go and show you johnbeckett.online, I've been updating this a little bit today. So it's now got links to the YouTube channel, my Discord server, and the blog. Obviously, it's got more links down here. So there's the channel, the Discord server, the Substack newsletter, and the Ko-fi shop where you can buy my procedures and stuff. So obviously YouTube is obvious. Discord, I've just started it recently, so I'm sharing everything I make in there basically, and obviously having conversations with people. So it's probably the primary means it's become of reaching out to ask me questions and things. So you can pop in there anytime you like. I will see your messages. I will respond if I have time to do so. The newsletter is the Substack newsletter, so every time I do a flight I send it via the newsletter as well. So if I go and show you that, that's this. So everything I do goes out. So if you subscribe to it, which is completely free, whenever I do anything afterwards I post it in here and you'll get an email with what I've been up to. I have actually got a Facebook page as well, but I don't tend to advertise it very much because I don't think many people use Facebook anymore, because it's just become a hellscape of AI slop and right-wing lunatics. So, so I tend to stay very far away from Facebook these days. It's a shame, because Facebook used to be really good, but it's become kind of a victim of its own success. If you open the doors to everybody, then you get everybody. And that's, yeah. And unfortunately, the minority ruin it for the majority, which is kind of true of everywhere, I guess. So I'm just looking at the quality to see if this is going to improve. Look at this. Wow. So it's doing that, yeah, it's improving it as we get closer. Look, it's loading better and better textures in. So this is going to look spectacular when we get over to the ridge. So we've just levelled out at 7,000 feet. Should we drop another 1,000 feet, I think. So I've got a question on the live stream. Can I do some more flying in Canada? Of course. I'm always looking for ideas of places to go visit. I know there are some fantastic airfields up on the northwestern edge of Canada, in amongst the islands. I think Wrangell is one of them that's got a crazy offset ILS. I don't know if you've seen it. So we should be levelling out here, otherwise we're going to slam into the hill. Wow, look at this. There's a building up here. I wonder what that's for. So how far away are we from the... So this isn't part of the national park yet. We're just navigating there, but we're doing it the scenic route. So this is just default scenery at the moment. Although it does look good, it's not as good as the new scenery. You can kind of see it's more rounded, isn't it, where it hasn't got the resolution. It makes it look a little bit more melted. Even though it's good, it's not as good. You can see the detailed stuff out there, look. The mesh is much, much finer. Okay, so we need to do left turn. To about 70 degrees. Okay, I've turned too much. Oh well, at least we get to see some of these rock structures. This actually isn't bad, is it? Yeah, anybody watching this, if you have got Discord installed, do go and join my Discord server. I would appreciate it immensely. It is where I'm starting to centralize any kind of... I think it makes it easier for people to reach out. Obviously I do try and respond to emails as quickly and efficiently as I can usually, but Discord is great because quite often if somebody asks a question, someone else in the same channel might know the answer and could respond, you know, far more knowledgeably than I could. Because I will freely admit, to answer a question, I will typically go look up the answer. And I am a bit of a fool for doing that, for trying to help everybody all the time. But I think this is why I originally created Virtual Flight Online. Because many people know more than any one person could ever know. Yeah, this is lesser quality scenery. Look, you can see it. It's got that melted look about it. So you will see the difference when we get... This is quite instructive actually to see this first. This is default scenery. And yes, it looks good, but it's not as good. So we could speed things up a little bit, couldn't we? We've kind kind of gone off the track a little bit. So 1, 2, 3. I've just sped the simulator up enormously. So 2, 4, 8 times. So turning to 24 degrees, 25 degrees. Are we going to follow this ridge? I guess we are, aren't we? Well, not ridge, canyon. So I'll start turning us towards it. The only problem, like I said earlier, with speeding the sim up is then you're playing catch up for the next 5 minutes with it loading textures in underneath you. On a quiet day it's not so bad, but at the moment I imagine the flight simulator servers are being absolutely destroyed by requests for scenery. Yeah, this is normal scenery. You can see the difference. It's interesting though, isn't it? Because when we first saw this scenery in Flight Simulator when it came out in 2020, we thought this was the best thing we'd ever seen. And then 2024 obviously added to it with the bits and pieces of AI generated boulders and stuff all over the place. But then when we get into, you can see the detail step in the distance there. It's a little bit more pixelated, and that is that step change in the scenery for the national park. You can see it out there as well. Yeah, so this looks good, but it's not as good as you're going to see in a few moments' time. Should I close some of these things down? I have got Discord running on a screen alongside me, so if you do go and join the Discord server, I will see you join live. Do go and post in the general channel and say hello. You'll get a thumbs up from me instantly. I am toying with the idea of doing some live streams and sitting in the voice chat of the Discord server so people can actually join me and have a chat during the flight. I've actually been thinking about getting some old friends that I've been flying with for years and doing some interviews in sort of how would you put it, like a car share type thing. So we'll fly somewhere and have a chat while we're flying. Yeah, you can see here's the detail. Look at the detail step change. Isn't that incredible? So there's the standard scenery, and that's the line look, and that's the detailed stuff. And again, once you go over the other side of here, it's massively different, isn't it? So it's both the resolution of the textures and the resolution of the mesh is much finer than it was. So we could just follow the canyon, couldn't we? I'm going to take the autopilot off and we'll follow the canyon by hand. Should we go down into it? This is going to be a little bit hair-raising, isn't it? Maybe not go too low. So this is Canyonlands, I'm imagining. We're coming in towards, yes it is. Canyonlands National Park. And it's certainly an apt name, isn't it? Enormous canyons. Looks incredible. Should we cut in close to some of these rock faces just to see how detailed they are? Pretty good. What about the scrub? So if we're getting close to the scree slopes, that's mad, isn't it? Look at that view. Obviously we can change the time of day, so we have a play with that because we can. So you can see it in the morning instead of in the evening. I've always thought the light modelling in Flight Simulator is absolutely spectacular. To do what it does as well as it does, at the rate it does, with the quantity of scenery it does it with, is the height of cleverness as far as I'm concerned, because I'm a software developer, so I understand the theory of how it's doing it with shaders and the graphics card and CUDA cores and doing matrices, you know, enormous numbers of matrices to do the calculations of the colours of the pixels on the fly. It's mad. It really is. The amount of grunt that modern graphics hardware has got to do this sort of thing just is befuddling, to be honest. Hi Sarah, what can you tell us about this area?
We're currently flying over the rugged landscape north of Dark Canyon, an area known for its deep canyons and dramatic mesas carved by the Colorado Plateau's relentless forces over millions of years. This region is a favorite for backcountry hikers and geology buffs, and it's so remote that you might spot more mule deer than people. The layers of rock you see tell a story that goes back over 200 million years, with each color representing a different era of Earth's history. Local legend has it that outlaws once used these canyons as hideouts, making it a real-life Wild West backdrop.
Can we see the KT boundary in the cliffs around here?
You can't see the KT boundary in the cliffs around here. It's not exposed in this part of Utah, even though the rocks here do span hundreds of millions of years.
Interesting. Just make sure we're going down the right alley. Yes, we are. We're heading in towards the middle of the national park. It's crazy, isn't it? Is there any chance I would fly from Eindhoven Airport at some point in the future? Of course. I'm always open to flying all over the place. I know it kind of frustrates me that so many people get in the simulator and they fly around either where they live or where they go on holiday. And it kind of drives me around the twist a little bit because the simulator simulates the entire world. So I tend to fly all over the place, as you will have seen. I will tend to fly wherever we're going to have either good light conditions, or quite often I will do night flights, but I think they get boring for people to watch because there's nothing to see outside. So I tend to do on airliners, I don't mind doing the night flights so much because you're concentrating on instruments anyway. But yeah, absolutely, I'll put Eindhoven on the list. Maybe on the Discord server I should make a suggestions channel of where people might like to see me go and do a flight. And then they can obviously describe why as well. You know, or points of interest, things like that. They could actually give me a heads up of things I should look out for along the way. Yeah, so we have a comment in the live stream saying yes, we are in the Optica, and it was decided on this one on purpose. I haven't flown it for a very long time, but got in it purely because it's so good for this sort of thing. Now, remember at the start of the flight I talked about when the in very ancient mountains you get the strata coming out at crazy angles where it's all rippled up. Look at this, it's happened right here. Hi Sarah, can you tell us more about this strata that is coming out of the ground at crazy angles?
Absolutely. The strata at crazy angles is a great example of tilted sedimentary rock layers formed when ancient tectonic forces pushed and folded the Earth's crust. These layers were originally laid down flat, often underwater, and over millions of years, pressure from shifting plates caused them to tilt and jut out dramatically. Geologists love sites like this because you can read the history of the land almost like pages in a book, with each layer representing a different era.
This is incredible, isn't it? So let's go across the top of the canyon over here and get close to the grass and see what it looks like. Yeah, so you can see it spawning in as per normal as you get closer with bushes. I imagine more and more scrub will appear the closer we get to it. There's rocks though, so I'm not going to go and put the airplane down, but Lots of tumbleweed and rocks, and there's a few scenery aberrations here and there. So there's a few gaps, but they're filling in as we get close to them. Vertigo! That does look incredible, doesn't it? I think this is my favourite so far then, so the Canyonlands National Park is worth a visit. So before we get too far, okay, we're still on track. Let's have a look. So this is pretty much the middle of Canyonlands, so we can stay in here or we could go exploring across the top. There's some, are they called buttes? The steps up there. Look at the quality of the scenery, it's ridiculous. Look at... I'm lost for words. It is so good. Very, very cool. Mesa Arch. Ought to look where I'm going, really. I'm blown away by this. This is incredible. I can see a question in the live stream. Is the scenery based entirely on the new data? I don't know. I think there are points of interest as well. I don't know where they are. I think they're noted in the official press release. All I've done so far is marked out where the national parks are that have been treated with orange dots on the map. But I don't know if there is any, special scenery that's been developed along the way. One of the ones I keep wondering if they'll do is Rainbow Bridge on Lake Powell, because it's never been properly shaped in the scenery at all. But But I noticed Lake Powell isn't one of the areas that's had the detailed scan, so not this time. The only reason I have an interest in it is because I visited Lake Powell when I was little. My uncle used to work there. Super impressive though, isn't it? So we are heading out this way. We did say there was somewhere else that might be worth a visit. Mesa Verde, wasn't it? But I think this is going to possibly beat it. Yeah, we'll carry on with the route I had planned. Otherwise, we could keep doing this all day long. So I need to keep an eye on the route. So we stay on this ridge and it should take us all the way out towards Canyonlands. Should we straight line it? I'm interested to go and see some of these steps out here. So on the way we'll go on a bit of a detour to, I think they call them buttes, don't they, when you get an island of rock stood up like this. It's mad, isn't it? I was waiting for the joke in the live stream, and you haven't disappointed me. But please keep the language clean in the live stream. I know it's tempted to start cracking worse and worse jokes, but it will cause me problems. Not as many problems as if I ever have music on the channel, which you will have noticed I never do. When I first started the YouTube channel, sometimes I would add music in the background, and I've learnt the lesson with that one. Never trust the copyright holders. Never ever trust them. Even if they say it's royalty free. Never ever trust them. I had one video that used completely royalty free music, and I had a count up the other day. I've had 80 takedown notices on it from various large record companies who bought the rights to the royalty free music and then went after everybody with robots. There was a spate over about a month where I was getting up every day to 10 or 12 takedown notices of the same video. So I just don't bother with it, because the time it takes to fight it, even if you know you're in the right, if you get 3 strikes, you lose your channel. And when it first ever happened, I used to fight it every time, but then it takes months for it to come through. shading of the sunlight is amazing, isn't it? Very well done. But yeah, on about music, there was an interesting story in the UK a couple of years ago. Somebody tried to claim prior art on a melody in an Ed Sheeran song, and he went to the High Court with it and set a precedent in UK law, at least, that most pop music is based on the same chord sequence that has been seen hundreds of times over the last 50 years, or thousands of times. Most pop records use the same chord sequences as each other, and I think he actually took an instrument into the courtroom to demonstrate to everybody and got the entire case thrown out, and it kind of stopped the copyright trolls in terms of melodies in pop records. It's an interesting one over there, look, it stood out all on its own. I wonder if it has a name. Should we have a look on the map? So we are just here. It's called... It must be Aztec that we can see out there. Some of these patterns in the ground are really fascinating, aren't they? The other thing I've had to learn to live with ever since my channel started to pick up a little bit of pace with people watching and subscribing is I get emails almost every week from people offering all sorts of services to help me make the channel even bigger. Now, none of these people create content of their own, and yet they claim to be experts. And obviously their game plan every time is to scrape the surface off of, or scrape some money from channels that are making progress to try and take some of it. Just today I had somebody approach me to use, they were going to use all sorts of special secret methods, in other words an AI robot, to go and make YouTube shorts out of all of my videos, which would apparently increase my subscriber numbers enormously. And it only took 5 minutes worth of research to discover that if you go after YouTube shorts, then you will pick up casual dopamine filled click subscribers, but those subscribers will not watch any of your long form videos, so there's no point. So I've kind of lucked into not doing shorts and therefore not harming my numbers, because the danger is if nobody sticks around to watch a longer video, which if you've picked people up from shorts, they're not going to watch the longer videos, that ends up delisting your longer videos, because YouTube looks unfavorably then on the number of subscribers you have versus the number of people watching more than a few seconds into a video. It's so it's kind of a lose-lose game, or a win-lose-lose-lose-lose game. This scenery is incredible, isn't it? Really is amazing. It's fascinating just how good it is. How are we doing for fuel? I ought to keep an eye on it, didn't I? We've been in the air for quite some time now. Oh, we've got ages. Nothing to worry about just yet. Let's keep an eye on where we are though. So we're heading off across in between the national parks in towards the Arches National Park. So let's ask Sarah before we get there. Hi Sarah, we're heading towards the Arches National Park. Why is it called the Arches National Park? So this might be where we're going to see
National Park
custom
gets its
scenery
name from the more than 2,000 natural stone arches found within its boundaries, all sculpted by millions of years of wind and water erosion.
So it may be that we get to see some custom scenery then in the Arches National Park, because we may see some arches, which I don't think the normal survey tools can put holes in the scenery. So let's, if we straighten the airplane out the direction we're going, we actually want to go measure, so about 7 degrees, which we're kind of doing. So hold the altitude. 3 times sped up, so, or 3 clicks, which is 2, 4, 8 times speed. And we're on our way in accelerated time towards the Arches National Park. This looks incredible, doesn't it? It is so good. So we are in the Arches National Park now. Do we need to slow down and go along these rivers? So I've put us back to normal time. I'm not sure where the arches will be. Oh, they're marked on the map. Landscape arch, delicate arch, turret arch, double arch. Whether they're in our scenery, I don't know. We can have a look though, can't we? I wonder how recent the tour guide LLM training is. Hi Sarah, has World Update 22 got any actual arches in this scenery?
Yes, World Update 22 does include actual arches in the scenery, especially around Arches National Park, so you should see some of those iconic rock formations as we fly through this area.
Do you know of any specific ones, and can you give me a vector towards them?
Sure. The most famous arches in Arches National Park are Delicate Arch, Landscape Arch, and Double Arch. If you want to see Delicate Arch, It's about 10 miles northwest of our current position.
Okay, we're heading northwest.
We're heading northwest now. Got it. Let me know if you want to start a tour or have any questions about what we're flying over.
Can you do tours?
Yes, I can do tours. If you want to start one, just let me know which one you're interested in.
I never knew that. That's so cool, isn't it? So, Steve is saying that the Discord link isn't working. You're not the first person to say that. Have you got... I think I've got rules on it that you have to have a verified email address or phone number maybe on it. I'll check. I'll go double check it in a bit and make sure. The guide is Say Intentions. Normally it would provide air traffic services, but it can actually provide a tour guide as well, as you can hear. So we can ask her anything about the scenery we're flying around. We can also have a mentor in the cockpit with us, so if we're not sure how to do something with the aeroplane, or we want to ask a general question about aviation, they'll be ready to answer for us. So let's have a look. Where are we going? Fiery Furnace, Skyline Arch. Which was the arch you said we are flying to the northwest towards?
We're flying towards Delicate Arch, which is probably the most famous arch in Arches National Park, and a real icon of Utah.
Are we getting closer to it?
Yes, we're definitely getting closer to Delicate Arch. It should be coming up soon, so keep your eyes peeled for that iconic freestanding arch in the landscape.
Can you give me a bearing from where we are?
I'm just the tour guide, so I can't give you a bearing. But if you want info about a landmark or a tour, I'm your gal.
What direction do I have to go to get to Delicate Arch from where we are now?
Delicate Arch is to our west-northwest from here.
So somewhere over here. So it's going to be one... I'm surprised it's not on this map. Unless it's Anniversary Arch, Tower, Double, Landscape, Skyline, Sand Dune. Now these look like added on 3D objects. So if we fly alongside them, oh, there's something out there. I wonder if that's it, one of them. Oh, here we go, yes, so these are all 3D objects. So in answer to the question in the live stream, here we go, look. Custom objects. And they do stick out like a sore thumb. I'm not going to fly through the gap, by the way. So that one was Skyline Arch. So if we just keep an eye out, we should see more of them. And you tend to be able to see the 3D objects. They don't look quite the same as the surrounding landscape. Which arch is this off of our left wing?
That's likely the world-famous Delicate Arch, the most iconic natural arch in Arches National Park, and a symbol of Utah itself.
It just looks like a spike made of rock.
That spike of rock you're seeing is likely one of the many sandstone fins that dot this region near Arches National Park. These fins are the result of millions of years of erosion, slowly sculpting the Entrada sandstone into narrow, towering walls and spires. Some of these fins eventually become arches as erosion carves holes through them, but others just stand tall and dramatic like natural skyscrapers. Early explorers and cowboys used these formations as landmarks for navigation, and they're a favorite subject for photographers, especially at sunrise or sunset when the colors really pop.
I don't trust the tour guide. I think she's sending us on a wild goose chase. It may be easier to go and look for on a Google map to find Delicate Arch. Which direction do we go to find Delicate Arch from where we are now?
Delicate Arch is to our west-northwest from here.
Oh, it says further on. And how far away?
Delicate Arch is about 8 miles west-northwest from our current position.
See, that makes
so we're
no
getting
sense.
pretty close. Keep an eye out for that iconic arch standing all by itself on the sandstone ridge.
I'm speeding time up. I don't entirely trust the tour guide. We're looking for a custom 3D asset, aren't we? And there's one down here. Or not. How far away is it now?
Delicate Arch is now about 7 miles away, so we're getting really close. Keep an eye out for that stunning arch standing out against the red rock landscape.
And what direction?
Delicate Arch is to our west-northwest from here.
I don't believe you. Let's have another look on the map. I'm going to go and look it up on Google Maps. We're going out of the... Okay, let's pause this in for a moment. Actually, we'll just leave it running on autopilot, and I'm going to look on the map. So we've got altitude hold on, and it's turning opposite direction. Seahorse Reef. Anniversary Arch. Landscape. Skyline. Sand dune. Oh, there it is. So yeah, the tour guide was completely wrong. So we need to go back this way. So let's go measure 13 miles back. I'll speed time up to do it, to make it quick. We can see the ridgeline anyway, where all of the arches are. It's probably the one that we were circling, but I didn't have the map at a close enough range to see its name. So it is away from this ridgeline we were flying along. It's not along this ridgeline. It's the other side of this area. Just the other side of it. Okay, so we know where we're going now. So we should be able to roll in. Is that it there? Maybe let's go and have another look. No, we're going straight towards it, according to the map. Oh, here it is. It's right in front of us, I think. I don't think it's modelled, you know. It would be here, wouldn't it? And it's not modelled, I don't think. Is this it? You can kind of see a shape in the ground, can't you? I think that is what would have been it. Oh well. Everyone loves a wild goose chase. Right, where's the airfield? Or how much fuel have we got? Do we dare go down? We've got a quarter of a tank left. If we go down towards Mesa Verde, it's quite a long way though, isn't it? But there is an airfield, Cortez. Okay, let's. It's too tempting, isn't it? Let's turn south. We just corrected the compass. Oh, the reason we were going the wrong direction, the compass had drifted enormously. So we need to go to get to Mesa Verde. It's about, it's 99 miles away though. Can we do that? 140 magnetic. We may as well while we're here. I can put some magic fuel in the aeroplane. So we're going to cheat. We're going to use slew to get there. This scenery is something else, isn't it? So you'll notice we're going faster than the scenery can keep up. As soon as we come out of slew, look, it's trying to catch up. If I pause for a moment and watch the hill, you'll see it improve. You'll see the mesh resolution improve, and then you'll see the scenery textures come in, and then the overlays, the trees, the roads, things like that. You can see it catching up with us, look. Anyway, where are we? We're on our way. The higher we go, the faster slew goes, by the way. Don't know if you knew that. Of course, look, we are at nearly 20,000 feet, which this aeroplane doesn't like. So I will help us become, or get down a little bit further. So you'll actually get to see the simulator loading the scenery in as we look at it. It's going to get better and better quality as we look. Still loading, look, you can see it pulling it in layer by layer. And there comes the trees. Hence Verde, I guess. Verdant. So, does that Ridge, the Montezuma Valley Overlook and Point Outlook, Longhouse, Cliff Palace, yeah, it's loading the whole time. Look, it's putting trees layer upon layer of different trees in. So if we 1, 2, 3, speed time up a little bit. So because it's covered in trees, you don't get to see the rocks, do you? I'm still on speeded up time, by the way. I just want to fit in as much of this as possible. So you will see this load in with much more detailed scenery as we look at it. Because obviously we've teleported our way here. Yeah, so down in here is the famous parts, which is similar to Canyonlands, I guess. Slow to get down here quickly. So if you hang on for a moment, yeah, you can see the more detailed mesh coming in. It makes a huge difference, doesn't it? It's still loading it, look, it's improving the detail all the time. Okay, so there's got to be an airfield around here somewhere. We've gone further south, haven't we? Yeah, so if we double back, we go towards Cortez, measure distance from here, so about 320 degrees. We'll need to fix the compass. There we go. So there's 320 degrees, we go that way for a few minutes. Maybe we speed time up to get there in a sensible amount. I wonder if Cortez has a tower. We could call in on ATC, couldn't we, and get clearance. Have a look. It's a grass strip, isn't it? Oh no, it's asphalt. So Unicom, okay. And I think we can see the runway there. Okay, so this has been our aeroplane today. It's the Edgeley Optica. It was built in the UK for surveillance. The police bought several of them and they used to fly up and down the motorways with them, keeping an eye on traffic. They're obviously a lot cheaper to operate than a helicopter. There was a science fiction movie with Mark Hamill in the years after Star Wars. I forget what it's called, but he obviously he didn't really fly in one, but he was supposed to have been a pilot of this aeroplane in this dystopian future that was an Edgeley Optica. Nobody had ever seen one before, so they thought, whoa, what is he flying? So the constant loading only happens, I'm just reading the live stream comments, the constant loading only happens if your data rate can't keep up. So basically if you have teleported or slewed or speeded time up, but under normal conditions the simulator is smart enough to try to figure out where you're going and it will load in front of you on purpose. Okay, so which way was the wind? I think we turned the weather off earlier, didn't we? So yeah, so 2 knots of wind. So we'll do left pattern around the airfield and come in down the far end there. We've got an altitude for the airfield. 5,900, so we want to be 6,900. So we'll drop into pattern altitude as we turn left in a few moments. Never landed the Optica, so this will be interesting. So another 500 feet will put us 1,000 feet above the runway level.
Approaching runway 21. Caution! Caution!
No, we're not. I ought to turn that feature off. It's really only for the big commercial jets. Okay, there we go. Pattern altitude, flying reciprocal of the runway. Airspeed is good. That's a big old rotary irrigation system there, isn't it? Okay, slowly start descending. Want to get to about 6,400 would be 500 feet above ground level. Flaps. This thing has got barn door flaps. It can come in almost at a hover. It's crazy. We obviously don't need that.
Approaching runway 3. Caution! Caution!
I'll hold it off the runway and we'll see how slow it will go before it falls out of the air. I've got full flaps now. It probably would have gone to about 35 knots if we'd really pushed it. Flaps back up. It's a busy little airfield. There's lots of airplanes here. We've got some switches here. I should have had landing lights on really, but I turned the strobes off earlier as well by accident, but there we go.
Approaching runway 3.
Obviously now we're off the runway, we turned the strobes off. Okay. So, I think the doors work on this, or they did on the payware version. I might have to go and turn head tracking off, because you'd have to turn your head round like an owl to get to the switch for them. Yeah, there you go. Oh, of course, it's the flight sim version of it, so it's going to jump you out of the window when you open the door, which is frustrating, but there you go. So hopefully you enjoyed that. That was a fly around some of the national parks in Flight Sim 2024 in the Edgeley Optica. If we go and zoom out again, you will see, obviously we did that extra added on bit there, but that was just some of the ones that are fairly near each other. Obviously there's lots of others. I think my favourite of the few we visited there was obviously Canyonlands. That looks spectacular. But I think it'll be good fun to go and visit some of the others up the coast. And right down towards the Mexican border, look, so Joshua Tree National Park. I think that would be good to go visit as well. It's quite spectacular scenery down there, I think. But yeah, so like I said, I will make the files available in the Discord server. I'll also go and check the rules on... I can do it now, actually. So if I go and check Discord and open it up, and so if I click on my server, so if I go into... I think, can I see existing invites in here? I don't think I can. Server settings. I can never remember how this works. Server settings. Invites. Oh, that's invitees. No, invites. There we go. So that's people who've been invited in. I wonder why it's not working for that particular... Anyway, I will go and post in here. I'll also check the invite link and go and dig through that and see what's going on with it. And we'll see how we go. So all I've got in the Discord server at the moment is a list of all of the videos and live streams I've done for the last few years, which are all listed in here. You can obviously search them to see what I've done. All the procedures and guides I've written up are also in here, or links to them are in here, I should say. So if I go and click away from that, and you can see obviously there's hundreds of those. If you go and look in articles, there's also articles I've posted on the blog, which are in here as well. So you can see, for example, Flight Sim 2026, Flight Sim Expo in photographs. So you can see obviously the blog. So it just links through. It's just a nice way of putting everything together, and you can see people posting in here saying hello, and we were all posting pictures of old simulators the other day of where we all started out from. So that was me with the Atari ST version of Flight Simulator 2. That would have been the Learjet. But yeah, there's the box artwork. Oh my word, that brings back some memories. But anyway, there you go. So I'll go sort out the Discord server link and make sure it's okay. It may be a safeguard. It may be that you have to have a valid email address or phone number against your account for it to work. I may have switched that on purpose to stop. We've had a fair amount of trouble with Virtual Flight Online in the past. But anyway, we'll see how we go. Okay, I'll speak to you soon. Take care.